Okay, act before it's too late. That's my title. So a local swim hole I grew up with was shut down this summer, and it's a place that I've been bringing my kids and really enjoying, particularly this year, which is interesting. And it's not the first swim hole on our beautiful rivers to be shut down, and it won't be the last. But what I see it as is a minuscule example, like this just little piece of the opportunity that we each have every day to take care of each other and to take care of our planet. There's been a lot of chatter about the whole thing, about losing this swim spot. Things like, why did someone have to post about it in the newspapers? Why did people plaster it all over social media? Who owns the river? Our kids and our families have a right to access our rivers. It's not fair to the locals, just all kinds of things. And the problem I see is that most of the chatter is either aggressive or defensive, and most of it is unproductive. It misses the point that we all had an opportunity to speak up when there was a problem, not after the problem got out of hand. And I definitely enjoyed the swim hole 4 or 5 times this year. Twice I carried out bags of litter that others had left behind, and I could have done so much more. So we all could have. Long before we lost access to this point in the river, we could have opened more conversations. A few people did, but many remained silent, and I was one of them. And we live in a culture that it sort of innately teaches us that someone else will take care of it, that it's always someone else's responsibility, that we have too much on our plate, or that's not our focus. And we all knew the swim situation was getting out of hand. And instead of taking action, most of us complained or griped about it. And most of us were there at some point and watched a drinker or two abuse the space, or watched a car park in the wrong spot, or never called the police or the landowners to ask, how can we help? What can we do? And this tiny swimming hole example for me, what I see is that it repeats itself over and over again as our earth and our people are suffering and calling for help. So I talk to my clients daily about living purposefully and intentionally. I talk to them about the power of gratitude and appreciating the river for what it is. Not specifically the clients, but that's how I'll pull it around. I talk to them about how to bring awareness to their thoughts and desires, to pay attention to what they have and where they're headed. I talk to them about how to take care of themselves so they can be of service to others, how to maintain self care so that they can speak out for things like swim hole destruction. And I know that I'm doing a good job, but I also know that I can do more. And I can get even more involved in being a problem solver and a change maker. And the time is now because, I'm wishing that I had done some things before the swimming hole had closed down. And there's some actions I wish I had taken to keep the river accessible for my kids and their kids. I could have reached out to the police, like I said, and asked what could be done. I could have written a note to the landowners, first of all, thanking them for access, and then asking about solutions, asking how I, as a local, could help. I could have told the drunk teens what I was actually thinking instead of sort of scowling and walking away. I could have handed other guests a bag and asked them to help clean up with me. I could have been even more active on social media about protecting our local swim holes, especially ones that aren't publicly maintained. I could have called the media sources and asked them not to publish swimming hole locations that aren't public, because private landowners don't want to clean up after people who've abused the landscape and the river and the banks that way. And most of all, I could have not assumed that someone else would take care of it. It felt like, oh, it'll all work out. Or if it shuts down, it's meant to shut down. But I could have taken a stand and I didn't. And so that's happening all over the place. It's happening with the way we treat other human beings, the way we treat our land, the way we treat ourselves. And so I'm going to make a big list of all the things that I love and appreciate in my life. And I'm going to ask myself, what can I do today so that I have no regrets tomorrow? And I hope that you will all do the same, because unfortunately, sometimes we need that wake up call. We need the swim hole to actually shut down, um, so that we can see that we all play a part in the big picture. And some people will see that and some people won't. And I hope that I can remember things like that when it comes around again. So until next week, I do have a new website you can check out. I still have amandastarkingsley.com, but I've been working really powerfully and intentionally with another coach. And we started a new website called Connected Growth Coaching. And we have ginormous plans for our future and for ways that we can serve all of you to sort of shift and contemplate your life in new ways. Really discover who you are and who you want to be and make it happen. So until next week, go out there, think about what you appreciate, and do something about it. Until next time, keep doing that thought work. I believe in you.